become aware of being Mexican. Talk about that. Talk about that awareness and what it meant to be striving in school, how others treated you. Tell us how that felt.
Yeah. So, I think going back to what my idea of America was, right, and only seeing one group of people portrayed on television, so feeling like I wasn't a part of that. And that experience came back when I was learning about the civil rights movement. And the history that we tell in the textbooks is a very, it's from a perspective of a black and white narrative. And so I never learned about Latinos during the civil rights movement. And my parents never really talked to me about racism and race in America. And I don't know if that was because they didn't experience it or because they thought that since I was growing up in America and I was learning English and I was, quote, assimilating, that I wouldn't have that experience. But, and learning about the civil rights movement impacted me deeply. And I used to cry to my dad when he picked me up from school and tell him about all the atrocities that I was learning about in school. But I didn't see myself in that. And so I didn't think that applied to me. But of course, in sixth grade, as you mentioned, there was a kid who, when I was placed in an honors math class, asked a question. And he said, why is she in the honors math class? She's a Mexican. She can't even speak English. And it took everything I had not to cry. And in my broken English, I said, I don't need to learn how to speak English to do math. Math is a language, universal language, and that's why I was always so drawn to it, because 2 + 2 is 4 in any language. And so, but that experience really, even at that early age, I understood the issues that are in our culture, and I realized that I may not have been talked about in the textbooks, but that it was something that I was going to experience in my life.